Yo, what is up, Cowboys Nation? It's your boy Jay Tuck, man. Happy Monday, man. Hopefully everyone out there staying blessed, you know what I'm saying, staying encouraged, man, staying away from them zombies and not getting bit, man. Hold on, man. I think we got a situation where it's not showing up on Boss's channel, man. We're going to get Boss right, man. But yeah, we got a fun show today, man. We got my dog Boss Cowboy in the building. You know, I know a lot of y'all excited about this showcase, man, because, you know, every time me and my guy Boss link, we gonna, you know what I'm saying? We got to turn up a different level, man. We're going to turn up a different level. Let's see here. Let me make sure it's good. Now, Boss is saying that it's on your channel, bro. Do you want to double check? You want? I see what you did, bro. Hold on. I see what you did. Hold on, man. Let's see. Yeah, Boss is showing that it's on your channel, bro. Hold on. You gotta get my dog Boss right, man. Hold on. I think. Nah, you went. I know what you did, bro. I know exactly what you did. Let me see here. Let me go ahead and get Boss right. 1 second, y'all. So we gonna do this. Let's see what you did. Hold up. This Boss, my dog. You know what I'm saying? We gonna get Boss right, man. We gonna get Boss right. So we gonna do this real quick. We gonna do that. Let's see here. Let's end this stream. He did something else, man. I see what you did. Yeah, see, this was the problem, man. I do things a little bit different, dog. I do things a little bit different. Let me see if I can end this stream, bro. Let me see if I can end this stream for you, Boss. Because you streaming through Restream, bro. You streaming through Restream. I didn't need you to stream. I just need to connect. How do I turn this off? All right. So what we gonna do? We gonna disconnect and we gonna come right back. We gonna disconnect. Now there we go, man. See, we back, man. We back in the building, man. See, I've been doing this so long. I'm now producing pro. When things go wrong, I can quickly just fix it, man. But like I was saying, Cowboys Nation, we got to bring together a very powerful show, man. And like I said in numerous videos this past week, this guy is one of the most solid people in our community. Somebody I really respect. Someone's like a brother to me, man. So we've been talking behind the scenes. We're supposed to do a show last week, but I got caught up because I was on vacation. I was traveling, but we had to pivot back, man. So CFO fam, Cowboys Nation, let's give a warm welcome to my brother, Boss Cowboy. What's going on with you, bro?
What's going on, big dog?
We good, man. We cooking, man. How things on your side, bro?
It's good, man. It's just, in that dead period season, obviously that time where we get a chance to kind of recharge and get ready to run this whole thing back. Cause, as soon as it starts, we don't stop to the next minicamp.
Now, bro, you ain't did no recharging, bro. I watched your channel, bro. What recharging you done, bro? You done been live every night. You know what I'm saying? You've been doing the draft coverage, man. And that's the thing I was trying to explain the other night, man. When it comes to us content creators, us new media, man, the passion just burns. Whether we want to stop, we might take a break for a day or two. You know what I'm saying? But that passion is always going to continue to burn because we always got to deliver that real when it comes to Cowboys Nation. And it's always something to talk about, bro. So, what I want to catch up with you, boss, because we really haven't dove deep, you know what I'm saying, especially on this side of things since the draft. As things currently stand here in the middle of June, how are you feeling about this Cowboys offseason on a scale of 1 to 10? Or do you want to smash that womp womp button? Like, overall, how you feeling, bro?
On the offense, I feel 10. On the defense, I feel 6, 7. And yeah. So on offense, I feel really strong.
Okay.
I don't see how I can't when I look at the fact that Dak is going into year 2 and the fact that he was MVP. I still call him the MVP. I don't say run him up. I never say run him up because they go steal it from him anyway.
Right.
So I call him the MVP. So basically he had an MVP season in the first year of his offense going into year 2. And the talks is obvious that they're not even installing. They just continuing.
Right.
They already in rhythm. They're going to all be faster in that offense. And plus they really, really retooled the most important thing, which is the trenches. So, how can I not be excited about the offense?
Yeah. I think the one silver lining us Cowboys fans got to be optimistic about is one, Dak Prescott. And if we pay him, CeeDee Lamb. You know what I'm saying? Just those two, the 4 to 88 connection coming back, and we'll have some other people that's going to take a leap. Now, we'll probably dive into Dak a little bit on the show, but let me ask you this, boss. When it comes to Dak, you mentioned he had an MVP season last year. Yeah. What is the higher ceiling? Like, can he reach the ceiling? Like, if there's a higher next level that he can take? Because I hear a lot of people saying he's peaked. Last year's peak. I don't feel like he peaked, honestly. You know what I'm saying? Like, I felt like he was following the offense that he was comfortable with. Mike McCarthy trusted him, kind of turned the keys over. But I feel like there's another level that Dak can reach. So when it comes to Dak Prescott, what do you think that next level is?
If he peaked, I'm fine with it. I mean, it's hard to be better than what he was. It really is. It's hard to be because, like, what part of his game does anybody have a problem with?
Well, I think the one knock people will say, and I slightly agree with it, is that in big versus bigger games versus bigger teams. You know what I'm saying? Like, can you play like that versus the San Fran versus, you know what I'm saying, the Ravens that we got on the calendar, see him versus Joe Burrow? Like, I think this season, to be honest with you, boss, this is going to be put up or shut up season when it comes to all these haters, right? Because I feel like now we're going to have that situation where Dak is playing against those high profile quarterbacks that everybody loves. You see what I'm saying? So he really don't never get that. Because I feel like quarterbacks in the AFC, they just get national love, right? Because Josh Allen went toe-to-toe with Pat Mahomes. He just goated. Justin Herbert beat Pat. So they kind of just give them things. So I feel like this year, if Dak goes out there and shows out and he beats Lamar Jackson and beats Joe Burrow and beats some of those quarterbacks, some of those bigger names, beats C.J. Stroud in Houston, I think that would kind of hush some of the silence. Now, it's always going to be there.
I think it's never going to be fair for him.
You don't think it is?
I gave up on that. It's never going to be fair for him. It's just because what's going to happen is it's going to be somewhere he's imperfect, and they're going to do what they always do and focus on the area of his imperfection. And then they're going to, obviously escalate it. So if he has a year to where he's been aggressive and he throws 13 interceptions, then they go say he has an interception problem again.
Right.
If we winning by, let's say, I'm just throwing this out here, running the ball, being a more balanced offense where he doesn't put up big numbers, they go say that he's really not doing it. It's the offensive line. It's,
True.
It's going to always switch. And they do that, sadly, not even to Dak. They do it to everybody. So when Diggs had that crazy amount of interceptions, all of a sudden, then they wanted to focus on and pull something out the air about him giving up 1,000 yards. When Zeke was really going crazy with those 12 touchdowns, they start saying, well, anybody can do that from the one. Like, it's just what it is to have that start. So in my opinion, Dak, he was doing everything I wanted to see. So we always basically said, Dak, we want to see you use your legs.
Right.
Once it got past 2.5 and the play would break down, then what would Dak do? He would use his legs. He would go move it with his legs. We would want to see Dak get the ball out faster. What was he doing? Getting the ball out faster than anybody in the NFL.
Right.
This was also still a new offense. We wanted Dak to speak his mind. So what did he do? He said, hey, we are the best at 10-play drives, but Mike McCarthy, we can be more aggressive. He spoke his mind. And it turned the whole offense upside down. So in a good way, where he just went crazy and CeeDee Lamb went crazy. And we said we wanted you to feed the number one better. What did he do? He fed his number one better. I don't think Dak can do anything better.
Yeah, honestly. Good point.
Just be yourself. Like, if you just be yourself, I ain't worried about Dak at all.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? You know what I'm saying? It is. Yeah, it's just one of those things, right? So, like I said, me personally, I would like to see it kind of just in bigger moments, you know what I'm saying, versus Lamar, you know what I'm saying? But we'll see how it all unfolds. But like you said, if we go out there and we beat Baltimore 14-7 and defense plays lights out, it's going to be because the defense carries. It's always going to be some little narrative, right? It's always going to be some narrative, and them zombies gonna come out. Zombies gonna come out. They're gonna be, you know what I'm saying? It just is what it is, man. So, speaking of the offense, that's where you got most of your confidence when it comes to this season. This time last year, there was a lot of questions, right? We were talking about the Tex Coast offense, and a lot of people were counting Mike McCarthy out when it comes to his offensive play call and saying it was outdated. And we got to be honest, you know what I'm saying? The offense fared out pretty well post-Kellen. So, overall, what was your thoughts about the offense, and where do you see some improvement when it comes to the offense? Me personally, I think it's just with the run game. But everything else, man, I like the way things look. And the thing that I love the most, boss, is that Mike McCarthy adjusted it. Earlier on, he was kind of running that quick, safe approach, trying to, put the leash on Dak, and finally said, nah, bro, you got it. You know what I'm saying? You got it. So what are some things you'd like to see kind of improve when it comes to the offense and Mike McCarthy when it comes to play calling?
Man, I have hardly any critiques for the offense, period. What I would want to see is them start like they finish, where the offense is basically running through CeeDee Lamb. But I want them to use it as camouflage. I want people to believe that we are a passing offense all the way up into December. Because I was talking to Amp Sports, and the teams that actually ran the ball better in terms of outrushing their opponents won 13 out of 3 games in the post. So based on his research, I got to go confirm that, but based on his research, that tells me that you want to have a strong running game, especially in December and January. So it's more so about having your guys on a pitch count, in my opinion, having your running backs on a pitch count. Like, really put this on the back of Dak, put this on the back of CeeDee Lamb. Also, I would definitely want no politics on the offense, because we saw politics. We saw clear politics. We saw forcing it to Gallup early, where Stephen Jones, in my opinion, was trying to be right, where he was telling everybody, we go be impressed with Gallup, because they signed Gallup over CD. I want them to just let the guys earn their targets versus forcing the targets. They was definitely forcing Schoon. They was forcing Schoon.
Oh, yeah, they were trying to make it work.
They was trying to make, and we was moving the ball, and I didn't even have a problem, to be honest, Tuck, with the Governor offense, even in the beginning, because we was really running a perfect offense. We just wasn't finishing. We was number 1 in 10-play drives. That's what Mike McCarthy said he wanted. He said he wanted long drives, to rest the defense. He was doing that, we wasn't finishing. But what was the problem? In my opinion, we was missing the finisher. The best finisher we had was Zeke. So everybody was saying, oh, anybody when you get in the red zone.
Anybody. If you look at his yards of carry per carry,
so it was totally different when it was really time to implement what y'all was lobbying for. So when it was time to score, they was trying to do it through the perimeter. They was also force-feeding Schoon, who had a couple of red zone drops. It was a couple of games that was even decided on drops, right? So it's one of those things to where now, it's a lot of people, they go try to judge Zeke, in my opinion, according to how many yards he get. I'm looking for more points than yards. If you can give me 8 to 10 to 12 touchdowns, but give me 800, 600, 700 yards, I'm going to say that's exponentially successful.
And I remember, I think it was like this time last year, I posted on Twitter, also on the YouTube video, I posted all of Zeke's touchdowns and all the comments. Look how close it is. Anybody can do it. Anybody can do that. You know what I'm saying? And they really took for granted what Zeke brings to our running back game. And it's also our offense, you know what I'm saying? From pass pro to everything, just that short yardage back. And we tried it and it just didn't work. You know, we saw some carries with Hunter. Hunter kind of got revved up and then he fumbled, right? Well, you were just missing that guy that when we got in the red zone, everyone had to buckle up their chin strap, and now he's back. Now, speaking of the running back room, I know we talked about it ad nauseum, man, when it came to the draft. And we didn't get nothing. Like I said in my live, man, I broke down 100 running backs in the draft, and we didn't get not nan one of them running backs. So how do you feel right now when it comes to our running back room? Do you feel like we have more than enough, or do you still feel like we need to go out there and maybe go find a guy that can possibly release, wink, wink, the New York Jets, because they got they hoarding running backs right now?
We should easily be able to get a back if we really want a back. I think I would want us to be prudent and let's watch these guys first. I think you could even give it a couple of games because you should be able to trade for a running back even before the trade deadline. It's a lot of teams that's very, 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 very deep at running back.
Right.
To where, let's say, if we kind of get into the season and it's starting to look bumpy, then you get on the phone and you give up one of these 5th round picks and you say, hey, let's improve that room.
Right.
You know? So, but I think we have more than enough. I actually think our running back room gonna be better than last year. Because in my opinion, you had with Rico and Tony Pollard, I always called it lightning and lightning. You didn't have lightning and thunder.
Right.
And most people, if we did a panel right now, your channel and my channel, and asked who was more electric last year in terms of thunder, most people would say who? Rico. Because I did a poll on mine. It was almost 100% Rico.
Right. I did a video that said give Rico more touches and everything. And everyone was like,
on electricity, like Tony Pollard was coming off that ankle. Right. And it was affecting him. He wasn't as explosive. He was still good. Now, I'm not going to... Some people say he wasn't good. I'd be like, I don't know. He
was more than enough. He was more
than enough. He just wasn't that closer. He wasn't like Miami kind of showed that when he was on the one.
Right.
And all we needed was some more little power out of you to kind of get over the end zone. You didn't have what Zeke had at that moment. And Zeke is not going to let nobody that's in the secondary stop him from getting that 1 yard at the end zone. That's not going to happen. So anyway, it's just one of those things to where as a unit, I feel like the running back room is better. And in my opinion, to be all the way honest, I think it's a much better fit to the history of Brian Schottenheimer, because you've done a great job always of breaking down Brian Schottenheimer, his offense, his schemes, but also his types. So when you look at his power back styles, this running back room mixed with that potential refurbished, tougher offensive line, I just don't see how we not better, bro. I just don't see how we not better. And then on top of that, people are not, in my opinion, talking enough about Hunter as a lead blocker. That's one of the most disrespected topics that most people not talking about. And it's like, can y'all please turn on the tape and watch him move linebackers out the way?
Right. And Hunter as a lead blocker with Zeke behind him. And when we talked about this last year, I was like, man, you know what I'm saying? I was like, man, we kind of missing that one little last piece, man. So it's power football. You know what I'm saying? That is power football. And Mike McCarthy has spoken a lot about just wanting to get back to just power football. And like you said, boss, when we get into December and it's cold, whether you're in Philly or Green Bay, you're going to need somebody who can go out there and be physical, run between the trenches, and just get the job done. And I think this Cowboys team is kind of built for that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's not sexy. You're probably not going to see the big explosive runs that we've kind of seen with Tony Pollard. But when it's time to line up and knock someone's chin strap loose, I think this team's built for that with their offensive line getting tougher with Cooper Beebe and also Tyler Guyton. But like you said, man, that 21 person, I got mad in 25. I was running like crazy, man. I was lining up behind Hunter in a fullback. And you think about, back when Zeke had a fullback in Kevin Smith, you know what I'm saying? Like, it changes a lot. You know what I'm saying? Both of us play defense. We know we got them 2 Bauer backs back there. No time to be pretty. You know what I'm saying? Got to put your mouthpiece in, you know what I'm saying? And really lock and load. And I think that's what the Cowboys are trying to get to. Now, speaking
before you change this subject, I want to stay on what you just said.
Yeah, Moose and Hemmett.
Just a tad bit longer.
Go ahead, bro. Let's cook.
Bro. Like, we are really built to be a bully team. I just wonder, will we embrace it? You know, and will we even look into it? Because I did a show with Henry DeMoore. It was a fantastic show about the gauntlet of defensive ends that's going to test Tyler Guyton, right? When you see that gauntlet of defensive ends that we're getting ready to face, how do we not say that we're going to have to run more 12 personnel?
Right.
So when you add the 12 with Hunter, with that offensive line, with Zeke, like when you look at the physicality that we really, I just want to add that last little bit is, could we really stumble into being like that real physical team that we are truly built to be?
Right. And that's the thing. We have, I would say, well, offensively, we have the personnel to do it. I think it's more of a mindset, right? You got to commit to it. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to come out, and I always say it's like knowing your North Star. Like when San Fran, when they get down, they know we're going to line up behind Christian McCaffrey and let things settle, right? So you got to have that kind of mindset where you can't be basketball in cleats a little time, you know what I'm saying? And then really try to, like, you're going to really have to commit. And I think if you go back to Dak's rookie season, that's what Jason Garrett really did. You just lined up. We're going to feed Zeke. We're going to punch you in the mouth. We're going to run it down your throat, and it just is what it is. So I think the Cowboys need to establish that mindset because you can't fake that toughness. You know what I'm saying? You can't do it sometimey. If it's going to be your identity, you really need to commit to it. But we got all the ingredients, bro. We got all the ingredients. I mean, just thinking about, like I said, lining up Hunter Luepke, Ezekiel Elliott behind Cooper Beebe and Zach Martin and Tyler Smith right there in the A gap and the B gap. Like, you can move some stuff. You know what I'm saying? You're going to move some stuff. And I feel like the way that we've been punched in the mouth under the Mike McCarthy era, it's just like we just need to get a little bit tougher, bro. I feel like that's just it. We just got to get a little bit tougher. So hopefully that's the mentality. Now, speaking of Mike McCarthy, speaking of Mike McCarthy, you know what I'm saying? Jay-Z has a quote, man. And the quote goes, "Nobody wins when the family feels." It seems like there's a feud right now, man. We've always talked about it when it's a rift, nobody wins when the family feels. When the family is feuding, man, it never leads to good business on the field, man. So as of right now, it sounds like the topic is Mike McCarthy is a little bit, I don't know, getting annoyed with Jerry Jones like we all are. So when you first heard about this story, bro, what was your thoughts on Mike McCarthy getting a little bit annoyed with old Jerry Jones?
Frustrated, and I'm not even frustrated at this rumor. I'm frustrated at how late we talking about it.
Right.
That's what I'm frustrated I'm gonna be all the way honest. I'm very pissed. I'm very pissed because I'm gonna be honest. You've been a little bit too humble. This is something that you've been beating the ground on for the last 3 years, bro. Like, This is something I've been beating the ground on in the last 3 years. Is the disrespect of Mike McCarthy and all the uphill battles that he has to go through just to do his job. Like, when I promised you I was gonna pull some videos and all that kind of stuff. I thought it was gonna take me an hour. It got so ugly that I couldn't even finish.
Right.
Like, literally, I got up to 6 different ways on how they disrespected him. Number one, hiring Kellen in the first place. That was the first thing that they did to disrespect him, because people I'm gonna do this quick. Hiring Kellen,
right?
Then having Kellen run his offense, option routes. Then after it didn't work, they went to Mike McCarthy saying, "Well, what do? We want to see you help Kellen." Then offering Dan Quinn a job, slow the cross train, and going to get Trey Lance without talking to him.
Right. Yeah. Without talking to him, bro. And I have it listed right here. So we got Mike and Kellen on a different page. Now, this is back in 2020 when we hired Mike McCarthy. You hired an offensive-minded coach and didn't let him be the offensive coordinator. That was strike one. All right, 2, we talked about the Rich Eisen interview that we'll play here in a second. All the Sean Payton moonlighting and the Dan Quinn moonlighting. Okay, cool. Then your owner goes upstairs and just willingly trades a 4th-round pick for a backup quarterback and didn't even consult with you. Didn't even consult with you. You know what I'm saying? Then, go ahead. And I was going to say, do y'all remember this situation, boss? And we talked about this. Do y'all remember there was an interview in the offseason when the Cowboys had Aldon Smith and Mike McCarthy in the press conference, and I was trying to find it, I just didn't have time. He spoke about Aldon Smith and the leadership, and he liked what he brought to our defense, and that he's going to be returning next year, and he's excited to see where Aldon Smith is going to go. Stephen Jones, literally, y'all, this is not Cap, it's not Tuck making it up. Stephen Jones stood up in the middle of the press conference and said, well, actually, Aldon Smith will not be returning next year. And Mike McCarthy says, well, there you have it. That's news to me. This is the head coach, boss. This is the head coach saying this is going to be news to me. You know what I'm saying? And then you have Jerry Jones sitting there at every press conference and asking every question. You know what I'm saying? Then now he's on a 1-year prove-it deal. Now, Mike McCarthy is 42-25 in the regular season, one of the highest winning coaches in team history. And you got to prove it? You know what I'm saying?
And then you got to prove it after we mess you up.
Right. After we mess you up, after we sabotage you, you got to prove yourself.
Under you.
Right. So under your first year in full control as the play caller, you had one of the best offenses, MVP quarterback, you won the division, you went to the playoffs, and now you got to prove yourself worthy. The audacity. The audacity, boss. The audacity to feel like Mike McCarthy has to prove himself when you let Jason Garrett stay for a whole decade. Now, here's the thing. We've had 3 playoff appearances in 3 years. Lost our starting quarterback, won games with Cooper Rush. Linebackers get hurt. We still win games. Offensive line, Tyron Smith, Terrence Steele, everybody gets hurt. We are still winning games, and we are still a playoff contender. And you have the audacity. To tell me I got to prove myself. Yeah, like you acting real brand new right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and this not even the worst of it. But it is the worst of it. It's the worst of it. It shows you that nothing is sacred.
Nothing.
Like nothing is sacred. Like if we gotta to have drama and to have y'all watch, we go use anything for suspense. We go use our head coach for suspense. We go use Dak Prescott for suspense. We go use CeeDee Lamb, even though he broke all these franchise records with us,
right?
And was clearly the best receiver in the league. I call him the best receiver in the league,
right?
You know, because remember he got 1,700 yards and they didn't start targeting him in game 6,
right?
See, people forget that, Tuck.
Right.
People forget that they didn't even start targeting him in game 6. Like, remember, people forgot in the early parts he was having to beg for targets,
right?
So now when y'all started feeding him under Mike McCarthy's Texas coast, you got a bona fide top receiver in the league, a bona fide best quarterback in the league. In a new offense, you was way better than Kelly Moore,
right?
Which y'all put under me.
Right.
So but now I gotta prove it as if y'all the ones like I've been messing up. No, I've been managing this mess that y'all made in my team.
Right.
You know, I had to manage this guy. Y'all sent me to go teach him to be an OC on a contender team. Think about that. They told him on a contender team, teach your replacement.
Right. Teach your replacement, bro. In the very first year you get there, you lose your starting quarterback. You know what I'm saying? And so since the moment, and here is what I thought about today, boss. You know what I'm saying? Because the Cowboys, you know what I'm saying? We had a fractured relationship right now, to be honest with you. But I thought about if there's ever a time for Jay Tuck to circle the block and go get the money that's owed to me, I go drop that video of Jerry Jones talking about he's going to be looking for a new quarterback.
Man, drop it. I say drop it. You know, back in the day, I was like, don't drop it. You know, we were both like, no, don't do that.
I got to go dig back through my phone files.
Man, go drop that.
And that was what? That was it last year?
2 years ago.
2 years ago. Yeah, when Jerry Jones told me he's going to be looking for a new coach soon.
Yeah.
All on my camera.
Yeah.
And winked.
Yeah.
And winked.
Yeah. And people don't really see from that the heat that Mike McCarthy has been under. He has been under this heat, and it's been heat that they created. It wasn't his own heat. he was the whole time right on Kellen Moore.
Right.
Because, see, I know you got the clip about the option route.
Yeah, let's go ahead and play that clip real quick, man, about the option routes, man, because there's so many different things, right? Even if you go back to last year's draft, when he is wanting Matthew Bergeron, and they're like, nah, bro,
I gotta add that to the list.
So here's how crazy the Mozzie Smith pick is. This is no slight to Mozzie. Mike McCarthy wanted Matthew Bergeron, y'all. The tackle out of Syracuse who went to Atlanta, who's balling right now, right?
Yeah.
Dan Quinn wasn't a fan of Mozzie because it didn't fit Mozzie's scheme, or it didn't fit Dan Quinn's scheme. So he wasn't a fan of the pick. So you had your offensive coordinator, your head coach, not really a fan of the pick, and you also had your defensive coordinator, not a fan of the pick, and they went and got him anyway. You know what I'm saying? It's things like that. And I think a lot of Cowboys fans don't understand when I talk about the culture and Boss talks about the culture. It has a ripple effect. Think about y'all, bro. You're the head coach. You're the head coach, and you can't even get the guy that you want. The guy you want falls to you in the draft. You're like, that's my guy. That's who I want. And they're like, nah, well, actually.
Actually, we're smarter than you.
Actually, I know the defensive coordinator, because we know that Mozzie doesn't really fit what Dan likes to do, but you still drafted him anyways. You know what I'm saying? So it's just crazy. Let's go ahead and get into this.
Before you play that clip, because I know we go take off on that clip, I got to say something that's on my heart heavy.
Go ahead, bro. I'm
frankly sick of me and you being the few that goes deep into this.
Right.
I'm gonna say that. I'm really sick of it, Tuck. I'm all the way sick of it. I'm so sick of us as independent content creators shying away from this topic.
Right.
I'm so sick of it. Like, football alone is not gonna solve this problem.
Right.
Like, to just focus on X's and O's, schemes and personnel. This is too deep of a problem for us not to use our voice, man. Mm-hmm. And I mean that, bro. Like, I'm sick of me and Tuck usually being the ones who stand out front and say what has to be said.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get viewed as negative for loving the team enough to say what needs to be said. Because you never disrespected Jerry.
Mm-mm.
You never disrespected Steven. You never disrespected them. But some people will view what we saying in love as if we are not for this team.
Right.
And I challenge more people to step into the arena of the council of politics that's killing us.
Right.
This is something that's literally killing us.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we could have won maybe 2 rings in the last 3 years if all the politics would have been moved out.
Right.
And Tuck and I was front and center with the AKs going right at Kellen Moore,
mm-hmm.
and we was looking for support. We was, we just need some help. Look, we got the proof on these option routes. We got the proof that Mike McCarthy don't like this. We got the proof, but y'all want to be so positive. Y'all want to be so positive to the fans sometimes that you don't tell them what they need to hear.
Right.
I'm challenging people to really step into this arena.
Right.
We need more content creators that have a real independence to use it.
Right. You have a power. And here's the crazy thing about this whole Kellen Moore and Mike McCarthy rift that was happening. It was happening right in front of their faces, bro. He's right there at the podium. Let's go ahead and play it. If you sitting right there and you hear Mike McCarthy say this right in your face, what is y'all thoughts, chat? Let us know.
A lot of great questions today, but this is my favorite. So we get to talk a little ball here. But no, I've never been a big option route thrower concept in the past. If you're going to run option routes, you need to live in that world. That's been my experience. You can't dab on it. Option routes are really not part of the old traditional West Coast offense. I've had quarterbacks in the past that didn't really like them, and it's really about the connection that they have with the receiver. I've been in systems where only certain guys run them. This is the most aggressive system that I've been in as far as many people that do run the option routes, and so I think you see our commitment to practice. A lot of great questions today, but this is my favorite. So we get to talk a little ball here.
He is literally at the podium. He is literally at the podium telling you, I don't do this. I don't do it. I don't like
me.
it.
This here, I ain't never been a fan of this.
I ain't never been a fan of this, bro.
This right here, this not me.
I mean, he pretty much did everything versus saying, "This is Kellen. Don't ask me." Like that's. But
this ain't me, y'all.
It's right there, and that's exactly what he was at the podium. Not one article. Not one follow-up question. Like, hey, Mike, okay, so you mentioned that you don't like the option routes, and this is the most aggressive you've ever seen. Like, is there a particular reason that, like, because what was happening, y'all? Let's kind of go back. This is from last year. What was happening when we're playing versus Green Bay and Dak thinks that CeeDee Lamb is going to bend, in front of the safety, and he bends behind it? It's because everyone is thinking, when you're sitting out there thinking, damn, Jalen Tolbert can't even line up on sock because he's thinking about. So all these different situations stem down, and they had a ripple effect about what's going on actually on the field, and it impacted us. And we lost games, bro. We lost games, and no one said a peep. It's just Tuck and Boss doing a whole 4 to 5 weeks of videos from all the way from Tampa, mountains of evidence, no ID offense.
Mountains of evidence. Mountains
of evidence.
Literally showing Hall of Famers.
Hall of Famers.
Like we showing, it's like, don't believe Tuck. Don't believe me. Listen to Aikman. Listen to Emmett. Listen to, we showing the clips.
Right.
Like, no, you can, okay, call us YouTubers. That's
right.
Demote us.
Right.
But you can't demote 6 Hall of Famers. You can't speak. I called them to the fan. That's why I'm so frustrated, Tuck. I'm frustrated because this topic is late.
Right.
It's real late. It's like, oh, he frustrated. Oh, now y'all want to talk about it?
Right.
Why didn't y'all want to talk about it when he said it in your face in that press conference?
Right.
Like, oh, it's in dead season. You want to talk about it? How about while it was actually in the active season, where we could have actually won a championship if some people had some courage instead of sucking up to Jerry? If we would have all really stood on that, because I still remember that exact day when I got the call from Tuck. I was literally sitting upstairs. I just got up. I remember I was wiping my eyes. I was literally doing this. And I get a call. He say, "Boss, Mike is fighting for his power." I say, "Huh?" He say, "Check your Twitter." So I check Twitter and I see that comment. I'm thinking media finna eat that up. I'm like, oh, that's you it. Can't get no more obvious than that. That's Exhibit A. That's everything you say you want. You say if it bleeds, it reads. You say the more drama, the more clicks.
Right.
That's clear drama right in your face. That's a layup for all you media people. That's a layup. That should have been first thing that night in the morning. Mike McCarthy and Kelly Moore on 2 different pages. It was nothing.
Not a word.
Not a peep.
Not a word.
And then we banging it, Tuck banging it, bam, 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 no identity. This trash is called no identity.
Right.
I'm over there, I got 30 videos on this.
Right.
Literally 30 videos on this. 30. Like 30, bro. In 1 year.
Right.
On one thing.
Right.
And now y'all want to talk about it. In the dead period. Mike McCarthy. No, he been tired.
He been tired, bro.
He been tired. Oh, y'all gonna act like this new?
Right.
This is old.
Right.
And I'm so frustrated, like Tuck. Like, I know me and you said we was gonna do a show, but as I was getting closer to it, I was getting angrier and angrier. I was like, it's too late. It's like the damage was already done. And now y'all want to talk about it just for clicks now.
Right.
They probably not even fighting about it no more.
Right.
Like, at this point, Mike McCarthy done built some reservoir. He done got more rope now.
Right.
So it's like, this is too late. Like,
too late.
Now you're doing it to stir up drama. But when we really needed
when we really needed this outrage to help production on the field, it was solid. But now ain't no football going on. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no football going on.
The drama.
Yeah, all that drama there was no drama for change. You know what I'm saying? And Mike McCarthy was out there telling y'all, because he also said in that same interview, he was like, typically in my offense, I had a separate play sheet for my playmakers. So, in San Francisco, I had a Jerry Rice play sheet of plays just for Jerry Rice to get him involved. I had in Green Bay, I had We ain't got that here. I don't know what he got.
that here. We got a system here.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know the worst part, Tuck, is upsetting because Tuck and I was saying when everybody was calling Mike McCarthy an old fart, we were saying, oh, this offense finna go crazy. In a good way, we were saying.
Right.
We were saying, oh, that go be top 3 in MVP. I was saying it every week.
Right.
Not blinking on
the interception's gonna fade away.
We said this. We both said this without talking to each other one time. We said, oh, for everybody that's been waiting on Turpin, you getting ready to see him. Everybody that's been waiting on Tolbert, you go see him. Because this offense is gonna be simplified. You're not gonna have to know physics to play in it. You ain't gonna have to be able to decode Da Vinci to play in it. You don't have to read a defense on a quarterback level to play in it. Now you can just go out there and play fast. And we were saying it.
And Jalen Tolbert went on the interview with Henny and Landlord and West, said the same thing. I was just thinking it was just too complicated for me. It was too complicated for me. So switching over from the Cowboys to another team, right? This is why I've been telling everybody about Quentin Johnson. Watch how he comes out the box this year. You know what I'm saying? Because I know what that offense can do to young players. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, I think I'm with you, boss. It was just like, it was right in front of our face. We are all trying to wave this right flag. They're like, yo, listen, let's fix this. We got Amari Cooper. Like, we got a team right now. We got a team. Like, let's fix this. I remember we did that first video. It was week 1 versus Tampa when we did the show with Jay Novacek.
Oh, did.
That was week 1. And nobody else even spoke on it. It was swept under the rug because what was it? The offensive numbers was that Instagram filter on the ugly chick. You know what I'm saying? It just made it look beautiful. Oh, well, look at the numbers. We're one of the top producing offense. Kelly has done this. Number one offense. Look at the efficiency. Look at the EPA. Look at the EPA. Yeah. And when
Kellen is such a young genius.
Yes, such a young.
You guys, you YouTubers, shut your mouth.
What do you guys know? Now, let me ask y'all in the chat. In the NFL, young, offensive, strong-minded, genius play callers, they can write their own ticket, right?
Yeah.
They can write their own ticket. I don't care. But for some reason, he's been passed on from coordinator to coordinator to coordinator. Do y'all think there's not a reason for that?
Yeah, he's failing.
He's failing. He's failing, but it looks clean on the surface. Now he's an op, you know what I'm saying? But it looks good on the surface, and it caught me off guard. Originally, when Kellen wanted to go to Boise, I was like, no, I need Kellen back because I was just looking at the surface level. So one night, I said, hold on, let me get my flashlight out, bro. Let me see. Let me look under this hood real quick. And I said, oh damn. You know what I'm saying? It's a big issue. But going back to the real problem, the cultural problem is you have a head coach and you're not letting him run the team the way that he needs to run the team. Case in point, we talked about this on the show we did, a few weeks ago. Boss, tell me who's our linebacker coach right now?
Paul Gunter, hopefully.
Well, I'm hearing two different stories. I'm hearing two different stories, right? I'm hearing our defensive coordinator right now saying that Gunther is going to be linebacker coach, but then I'm hearing Scott McCurley over here. So here we are.
No player talks about.
No player talks about, right? So now
I still hear them praising Greg Edwards.
Right. Yeah. So here we go. Here we go. Right. Two different mindsets trying to run the linebackers. You know what I'm saying? Who's the guy? Is it going to be Zim's guy? Is it going to be Mike McCarthy's guy? Like, what is really going on? And I feel like this is my biggest frustration, y'all, and my biggest concern. I mean, y'all know we got to keep it real, right? You have everybody from the coaching staff to some players on 1-year deals. Now it's not the year for riffs. You know what I'm saying? Now is the time when you need, okay, if I really want to show Mike McCarthy who he really is, and Mike McCarthy proved to me who he is, you need to have all your utensils. So what type of players you need, what type of staff you need, anything you need, bro, I'm going to give it to you because you're going to have to really show and prove. And I just feel like this offseason, bro, we just haven't done it. So
can I keep it all the way real, man?
Go ahead.
When your defensive coordinator and your head coach is already positioning themselves to be up out of Dallas,
right?
they feel sabotaged.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be all the way honest. Some people want me to lie. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna look in y'all. I'm not gonna say fake optimism. I ain't gonna never do stuff like that.
Right.
When Zimmer had to go out, create his own interview, and the first question is, do you feel like you have enough?
Mm-hmm.
And his first answer is no.
Right.
That is seasoned head coaches knowing how to work the media so that if and when this does not work out, they know how to sit in front of the next opportunity and say, that's why I said that on Rich Eisen's show. Right. That's why I said that, because I was lobbying for what I needed. And it's a circus over there. When you already positioning yourself for your next job before the season start,
right,
that's showing you that they don't trust our front office.
Right.
That listen, I can only be straight up with people.
Right.
I can't do nothing else. That's what they're doing, y'all.
And it's human nature, y'all. Right now at work, if you hearing some rumors at the water cooler that there might be layoffs, you on LinkedIn. You know what I'm saying? You on LinkedIn, you talking to your homeboy at a different job, like, yo, bro, some kind of, you already kind of setting up. And I just think that's a bad mindset to kind of go into the season. Think about this, y'all. And this is why I kind of just, Coach Zimmer, new defensive coordinator, you've gotten one utensil, one ingredient that you wanted to cook with this year. That's it. Yeah. Eric Kendricks, you got one person that can speak your language. That's it. And you barely got him. You had to pick up the phone your damn self to get him back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's crazy that you're going to bring Coach Zimmer in on a 1-year deal and want him to cook with all of Dan Quinn's utensils, ingredients, seasoning, everything.
While he begging.
Yeah.
People not saying that he begging. Like, he's literally begging. Like, Clarence Hill said, is scheme enough? No. Is scheme enough? Great question.
Right.
Is scheme enough? When your head coach, when your D coordinator say, I hope so.
Right. I hope so. Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
When Brian Broaddus goes on a show with Vach and says D tackle is so lean that they had to take their second round pick and put him at 3 tech because they didn't have enough bodies.
Right.
And we talking about Micah leadership. Like, it's like, come on, man. It's like we focus all the way on the wrong thing. Like, it's like, no.
Right.
Like, it should be a unified single voice screaming about DT.
It should be when Mike McCarthy steps to the podium, he's still could be asked about the defensive tackle position.
Every time.
But we had roll call, right, attendance through voluntary training camp. You know what I'm saying? That's what's the focal point. And that's what they got kind of frustrated at me, bro. I'm like, there are bigger pressing needs right now than Michael Parsons' shoes, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, who was our nose? Who was our, if the whole mindset, the whole philosophy, the whole focus of this offseason is stopping the run, where's our run stoppers?
Where's our run stoppers?
Where's the run stoppers, dog? Where's the run stoppers? You know what I'm saying? Like that.
Rodgers.
Who? Oh, no, bro. A 7th round pick.
Listen, y'all.
Do they not know we have Nick Chubb, we have Alvin Kamara, and then we have Derrick Henry out the gate?
Out the gate.
Out the gate.
Hey, I heard Patrick say, I think they try to see what Mozzie and Rodgers go look like in camp first. No, bro.
Oh, so we doing that.
All right, bro. Like,
Mozzie coming off of shoulder surgery.
He kept trying to get his weight back. Yeah. And, y'all being negative. No, this has nothing to do with, like, listen, this is being very honest. It just ask yourself, can y'all find me in 100 years a 7th round DT that was instant impact year 1? Can you please?
Mm-hmm.
Can you please find me one in 100 years? I'll be waiting for that answer. Okay.
And Warren, good question, right? Because I pressed this on Twitter, right? Because I feel like one of the dumbest things the Cowboys did was let Hankins walk. And what they were telling me is that no, they gave him the same offer that Seattle gave him, that he just wanted to go to Seattle that bad. Stop the cap. Stop the cap. You mean to tell me if the Cowboys counter and say, you know what, they're offering you a 1-year deal, but we need you, we're going to offer you a 2-year deal. Hankins wouldn't have took it. He would have took that. He would have easily took that.
And we talking about $2 million.
We're talking about $2 million. I think what, like 500 and like bonus. Like it was bare bones, bro.
Yeah,
it was bare bones. It was bare bones. You could have easily got that Hankins deal done. You didn't prioritize Hankins.
You didn't and I say this, man, this is really a lot of people not seeing it, and this is the frustrating part. Just like Mike McCarthy drama was very obvious to see.
Right.
This one is even more obvious, what I'm getting ready to say. When Will McClay tells you to your face, if we pick them, we got to play them.
Right.
When he tells you, when we draft these guys, they're going to play.
Right.
Not they might, depending on if they win the job or depending on the count back. No, none of that. None of that. We picked you. So, Rodgers, you're playing. So, Gallup, I know you came off ACL,
right,
but we picked you. Right. So, you're playing. Wait. Amari, he ain't had no surgeries on his knee. Yeah, but he's not one of our guys. So,
right,
we didn't pick him. You know,
right,
we acquired him. We don't like you that way. We like it when we pick you.
Mm-hmm.
So, and people like, no, boss, be positive. It's like, no, just look at the pattern. If you really just look at the pattern, it's just as obvious as this Mike McCarthy thing. Because the only thing people really needed to recognize this Mike McCarthy thing, the only one thing people needed? Empathy. They needed to be able to put themselves in another person's shoes.
Mm-hmm.
And you would have clearly saw this was a problem a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
If you would have just had a heart, right, and said, you know what, how would I feel if I was the head coach and then I had an offensive coordinator under me doing opposite of what I want?
Mm-hmm.
How would I feel? If you just put yourself in his shoes, you would have already known without some leak from somewhere,
right,
telling you that Mike McCarthy is fed up. If you would have just used basic common sense and empathy and listened to even the Hall of Famers, you would have already been like, bro, yeah, he fed up, of course.
Right.
When the man had to go to Rich, you got that clip of Rich?
Yeah, let's go ahead and get to that Rich Eisen quick. Yeah. Now tell me that he's fed up right here. Let's go.
Part of the criticism coming your way seems to be in a veiled way from the man who signed your checks, to be very honest with you. Jerry Jones, in a story written on DallasCowboys.com, was talking about Dan Quinn coming back to your fold and mentioning how Sean Payton and Jason Garrett stuck around for a long time as assistants in Dallas because, quote, every one of those three coaches have said they'd love to be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. So my point is that has, in my mind, a lot of logic as to why they might not take a job now rather than one or wait and see how the cards go in the future. The follow-up question was kind of obvious. Like, what about your current head coach, Mike McCarthy? And the quote was, Mike knows that someday somebody other than him will be coach of the Cowboys. What do you think about that supposition, Coach Mike McCarthy?
Oh, so we have an hour, correct? Are these narratives unusual? Absolutely. I've never dealt with anything like this. Do I wish I didn't have to come on here and answer questions about it? Yeah, no doubt about it. I wish we were talking about something else, but it's part of our landscape, and I just think keeping things real and keeping things focused, because at the end of the day, it's about the people that you're in charge of. It's about the people you coach, and most importantly, it's about our locker room, and our locker room's about winning.
He didn't sound annoyed on that interview to y'all? Let me know in the chat. Did he sound like he was annoyed? That sounded annoyed to me. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, y'all didn't catch any of that, bro. He's been annoyed, bro. And anybody else would feel the same way. If you go into your job day in, day out, you still producing, even though you got a manager down your back, but every time you got to hear about them moving on or getting somebody else or this and that and this and that, it would drive you crazy. Like, you know what? I don't need this company no more. You know what I'm saying? I don't need this. And that's what people got to understand with Mike McCarthy. And I was explaining this on Twitter. y'all got to understand, Mike McCarthy got his name back from Green Bay. You know what I'm saying? Because it was kind of like, okay, is he a lame duck coach? You know what I'm saying? Nah, y'all got to put some respect on my name. He went to Dallas 12-5 with Cooper Rush. So he got his name back. If Mike McCarthy hits that market, y'all, there's going to be people after him. There's going to be people after him. So he does have some leverage. I don't think, if he's not like Jason Garrett. If he loses his job, it's going to be the end of him. Nah, bro, he'll be able to get a job because someone will sit back and say, shit, I'll take them 12-5.
I'll take them 12-5.
I'll take them 12-5.
And we saw what he was going through.
Right, yeah.
We ain't going to take you through that over here.
Yeah.
It's going to be about football over here.
It's all yours. Now, you know what I'm saying? Now, think about it. Over in Pittsburgh, Mike Tomlin got a deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like if you support your coach, then support your coach. But it's always this extra manipulative thing. And everybody's job always gets questioned. Everyone always has to prove themselves except them people upstairs. When is Jerry and Steven going to go and approve a deal? You know what I'm saying? Ooh. You know what I'm saying? When are they going to go and approve a deal? You done had 30 years. You didn't have 30 years, and you got the nerve and once again the audacity to tell somebody it's Super Bowl or else. you ain't did it in 30 years, but you gonna lift your nose up in the air and tell somebody you get a Super Bowl or else. Crazy, bro.
Hey,
and people say because he wants Belichick. Belichick ain't putting up with that.
Oh, no.
He ain't putting up with none of that, bro.
Man, yeah. Belichick ain't putting up with this.
He ain't putting up with none of that, especially with that little PYT he got running around. He ain't putting up with none of that. You are not answering no questions.
I admire. It's some people that want to get rid of Mike McCarthy. I think that is absolutely no. Absolutely not. Because I think for you to be 12-5, with all the political dilemmas that you had to swim through.
Right.
Because, I've been hearing and listening. I keep my ear to the ground like you took. Mm-hmm. And I hear people try to then turn it on Mike and say, but you know what you was getting into. You knew what you was getting into. So they trying to turn it back on Mike. Like, hey, you just got to accept it and swim in these infested waters. But what did he say on that clip? He said, this is the landscape.
Right.
So it's like he is very aware of where he is, and he's knowing that he's swimming with toxicity.
Right.
He understands it. He's doing his best to work within it and around it.
Right.
So when they go get Trey Lance out the blue
and burn a fourth round pick, burn a fourth round pick.
Burnt it. Like, so I ain't gonna quite say burnt yet, but it's cooking real fast. It's right on the creek.
That fall off in the draft by not having that fourth round pick hurt, bro. You know what I'm saying?
It did. I just want to see him under the lights. I'm just leaving because right now everybody is because see, Bobby Bell said something. I'm gonna talk to Brian Broaddus tomorrow about this when he come on his final word. I maybe shouldn't give this away because if he listening, I don't want him to give it away. I don't want him too prepared. But Bobby Bell said that Trey Lance not even worth $20 million right now, where Dak is right now looking at a $60 million. Like, even though he really not. But when you say somebody not worth 20, what are you really saying? He really was saying he not a third of Dak. Mm-hmm. Think about that. Mm-hmm. He said he's not even a third of Dak. Mm-hmm. Not half, not 75%. He's saying based on how he practicing and me watching Dak practice and me knowing Dak, this man is so on that trajectory. Yeah, it's looking like that fourth rounder went up in smoke.
And here's what that definitely kind of hurts it. When you look at the other players, quarterbacks in that same draft, what they went for, and honestly, the NFL is telling you them quarterbacks ain't starting material. You know what I'm saying? We telling you right now, Justin Fields, he wasn't starting material. They had to move on. Mac Jones wasn't starting material. They had to move on. Zach Wilson wasn't starting material. They had to win on. But lo and behold, the Cowboys got this golden nugget that nobody thought about, and they got the next starting quarterback in Dallas. You know what I'm saying? And it is not, and here's the thing I really hate, y'all. It's not a slight or a knock on Trey Lance. they put this kid in this messed up situation because they trying to make their main chick jealous. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. That is all it is, that they wanted to have a leverage tool versus Dak. And they say, you know what? Let's just do it. Because I went back and watched that preseason game because I was cutting up the film. We would have been perfectly fine with Will Greer as our third string quarterback last year. we would have been just fine, y'all. We would have been just fine with Will Greer as our third string quarterback, and we could have had a 4th round pick.
Tuck, I'm starting to change on something too. Listen, I already told you I'm wet concrete. So if I change, I told you that I'm wet concrete. Okay. I'm starting to be out on giving Trey Lance too many training camp reps.
Oh, well, you can be out, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
I just want you to hear the case. Yeah. I just want you to hear the case. Because this is the deal. Why are we doing that? Like, are we doing that because we know he good? Or are we doing that because we're being reverse cheap? Because you know sometimes we all get reverse cheap.
Yeah.
You go out there and you buy this car. It's a lemon, but you keep working on it. You keep working on it, right? So it's one of those things to where if we get too goofy in trying to make ourselves appear right, you go mess around and not even have a real backup prepared if you play too much.
Right.
Because see, Cooper Rush also needs to get prepared for the season now.
Right.
Let's keep that in mind, that if Dak have another thumb or a concussion or something or anything to where he's out, you done burned all these reps trying to make sure your 4th rounder was worth it, that you forgot that part of preseason and training camp is not just evaluation, but it's also preparation. So at what point do you switch from evaluation to we need to turn this knob to preparation?
Yeah. And here's what I'll tell y'all, Cowboys Nation. Let's just go to the scenario. Boom, we wake up tomorrow. It's all on Twitter, all online. Dak Prescott has signed with the Dallas Cowboys on an extension. Do y'all still think that Trey Lance is going to get these reps? Y'all still think they're going to move on from Trey so damn quick? he might be traded by the time we get to lunch. And so all that Trey Lance is just a leverage play. So someone asked me, like, okay, Tuck, who do you think wins, the quarterback 2 spot between Trey Lance and Cooper Rush? I said, if Dak signs, it's Cooper Rush. If he don't sign, it's Trey Lance. It's that simple, y'all.
Yeah.
It is that simple. It is that simple. But
right now, that's what it is. Until the lights got to come on. I'm gonna give Trey a chance under the lights.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's one thing I'm being open for, because you and I know, Tuck, there are certain people that are bad practice players and gamers. Dak was one. Dak was one. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think, but under the lights, Dak just turned crazy. Like, fool. Because see, I remember a time, and I know you remember this, that when Dak was getting to play in that Rams game because Romo got hurt, the rumors was that Dallas was shopping for Foles. They was aggressively shopping for a backup quarterback. Dak had one chance to shut them up.
Right.
He had one chance, and he balled out so much his first debut Rams game. He should have had a perfect passing rating if it would have been for the swim drops. He would have literally been perfect, right? That then, right after that game, now we're no longer shopping.
We good, right?
But the worst part is people forgot this part. I remember this part. Jerry came out and said, "Well, let's not put him in the Hall of Fame."
Right?
Quite.
Let's do that. But when it was Brandon Whedon, he said he throws one of the prettiest deep balls I've ever seen.
Ooh, that boy always been under this old.
It's
all good stuff.
It's all It's like I said, everyone has to prove it except the Joneses. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a masterful plan. You know what I'm saying? It's a masterful plan that you can pretty much just not accomplish anything, and everyone else takes the blame for it, except the people that's really to blame for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's crazy, man. It's crazy. So like I said, y'all, this Mike McCarthy thing, it's a rift. We'll definitely keep our eyes on it. Finally, you know what I'm saying? About damn time. But at the end of the day, it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out.
Look, honestly, I don't even think it's a rift. I think this is a story 2 years ago.
Well, here's what I'll say. Mike McCarthy ain't gonna go out like no punk. You know what I'm saying? So if
I agree.
So if it gets a little bit traumatic and he's just like, all right, bro,
Oh, he got the leverage now.
He'll fold. He'll fold a little bit like, I ain't doing none of that. You know what I'm saying? So he ain't going to go out quiet. He's not going to go out easy. So, but hopefully.
I really do believe this is old news, man. I think this is something that they trumped up. And I think Bobby Belt did an amazing job today. If you ain't listen to Bobby Belt today, go catch him from not G-Bag. He was on Sean and RJ. He did a great job of really dissecting the tea leaves of why the source that they said it was doesn't really compute. Mm-hmm. The fact that he said it's a personnel guy. And man, when I say Bobby unraveled that puzzle like a genius, bro, I was impressed. He like really cracked the Da Vinci Code on now. It don't line up. And he was like more than like, I'm going to probably cut it up tomorrow. Mm-hmm. But he really showed that now it's not logical for the personnel guys from 2 years ago. He said it really makes sense because that's the last time they had real turnover. Right? So if you're hearing a new story from somebody 2 years ago, and it was also the fact that there's no connections with those personnel guys because they'd have already majorly moved on.
Right.
So he said something at the end that I don't think a lot of people caught. Mm-hmm. He said, if you really probably want to catch who the source likely is, go look at that reporter and his background and the fact that he was a Green Bay reporter who would then have connections to former Green Bay people. Mm. And then you got to look at who are some of the Green Bay people that got away. Mm-hmm. So that would be who? Rob, Joe Witt, Philman. Mm-hmm. Now, he didn't name them.
Right.
But that's more logical.
Right.
And that also fits the timing. Mm-hmm. Because remember, me and you was doing that show with Brian Brothers last year. Mm-hmm. See, we going deep now, Tuck. I told me and you, we'll crack any code.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
We'll crack any code. Remember, Brian Brothers was talking about that coaching war. Mm-hmm. He called it a hostage take. Remember? Mm-hmm. I'm firing your coach, you firing my coach. I'm firing your coach. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Remember he talked about that?
Right.
Likely within that circle of Green Bay people that was let go is where this story came from. That's why I think this is old.
Right. Someone got clipped in the middle of it. It's like, you know what I'm saying? I'm representing my squad. You know what I'm saying?
I'm representing Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy has been growing tired, but that was also around the time me and you was talking about it. So right now, Mike McCarthy done got his legs. His offense was top. His quarterback. That's why last year, remember Jerry then was saying, I want Mike McCarthy to be here as long as Tom Landry. Why? Because they learned a lesson.
Right. Yeah. But ain't no money, ain't no contracts being signed. You know what I'm saying?
That's a whole
ain't no contracts being signed, man. So it's crazy, man. Salute to everybody.
Though.
Yeah, it's super frustrating. It's super frustrating.
But I just have a feeling, like he said, Mike McCarthy said, I understand the landscape. Because when he was talking about Jerry now, he was also in that Rich Eisen interview differentiating himself. He said very clearly, with me, it's all about winning and it will be always about winning. But he also said with them, they take a 360 view.
Right.
So that means they looking at everything and winning just a part of it. But they also looking at how much money we go try to make off this.
Right.
They looking at how's our reputation gonna be on this, and they looking at, and are we gonna win? They putting too much in. They not putting just winning in. They putting in, we got to make money. We got to get publicity. We got to get our name out there. We got to get the brand going. We got to sell tickets. And he like, I ain't thinking about none of that. I'm thinking about
just winning. Right. And that is the problem. That is exhibit A through Z. That is the problem within Dallas, bro. It's not just about winning. It's about everything else. It's about brand. It's about viewership. It's about media coverage. It's about this. It's about that. And if winning happens, it happens. But if not, they'll be able to spin it a little bit and still be, like that. That is the problem in Dallas. And what I'm trying to explain to my viewers and also your viewers and me and Boss trying to explain to y'all is that culturally, that impacts what's on the field. You know what I'm saying? Like that impacts what's on the field when winning is not the main thing. So I think the problem is not that we're being negative, right? It's that what we're trying to tell y'all, it's not a quick fix. And I always get this analogy, right? It's like, okay, your bathroom is leaking, right? Of course, I can replace the toilet and get you a brand new toilet, but there's water leakage inside your walls, bro. Like we gotta rip out your tub. We gotta, you know what I'm saying? We gotta get to your drop, because if not, you're gonna get mold. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna leak down. It can impact your overall. Like that's what we're saying when it comes to the Cowboys. There's mold in the building, and it starts from up top. You can get another quarterback tomorrow. You can get another coach tomorrow. Move on from Micah Parsons tomorrow. But that same mold still remains inside the building, and it's infecting what we're seeing on the field. And that's the frustrating part, because Mike's trying to clean it. Like, nah, bro. But
I did want to say one piece of good news.
Yeah.
And it's very good news too, right? So this is just the politics side that's bad.
Right.
Never forget that we still know how to get talent on this team, though.
Right.
That's one thing. Like, even though we need DT,
right,
let's remember our history. We had receiver by committee to where it was just obvious this thing is trash.
Right.
And in a moment, what did Will McClay do?
Mm-hmm.
He went out and got Amari.
Mm-hmm.
So that tush push hit us in the mouth.
Right.
In the mouth. To the point Kelsey was walking up to Quentin Bohanna, telling him to his face, "Oh yeah, you know what's coming."
Right.
You remember that?
Right.
You know what's coming. Like we finna get this first down.
Mm-hmm.
Like, right? What did we do, Hankins?
Mm-hmm.
Before the trade deadline. So some people go look at this like this is depressing. No, this is more so balance. It's like you can't fix things unless you first say what's wrong.
Right.
If you in a relationship, you can't fix that relationship until you say, "Hey, this is my problem," or "This is your problem," and we get to working on it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't fix your flat on your car. If you go out to your car, you don't go out to your car and say, "This is so sad, I got a flat."
Mm-hmm.
No, what do? You say, "I got a flat. I'm not gonna be able to get to work until I fix this." So when Tuck and I are raising this is not saying the season is over. This is not saying that we ain't got a good chance to ball out. What we saying is fix this so that we can drive this car to a championship.
Right.
So talent is still on this team. We still got Michael Parsons. We still got CeeDee Lamb. We still got the MVP at quarterback. We got a whole restocked offensive line. We got a real good defense. We got Trayvon Diggs coming back. We got Overshawn coming back. We got a defensive coordinator that's going to bring discipline. You know, so don't get us twisted on what we're talking about. We just saying, okay, get the politics out the way, though.
Right. Right.
So that all that blessing that I just talked about can really bless you, you know? But
yeah.
So I just want to bring balance to what we saying too, because this, you know, that is, we are still a good team.
Right.
And we still go rock some teams this year.
Right.
Like it ain't too many teams that got, matter of fact, it's maybe only one that got like self-made all pros like us.
Right.
So
right. Yeah, and going back to what Boss is saying, right? He's trying to drive that vehicle to a championship. What we're trying to do is have a proactive, like me and Boss have a proactive mindset.
Right.
So what we're doing is we're looking at your tires and saying, "Yo, bro,
fix that.
Your tire's a little bald right now. You might want to get that replaced." He's like, "No, I'm good." Hey, bro, like seriously, bro, like your tires, like, bro, I'm good. And then what happens? What the Cowboys do is it's reactive. They drive it on the highway. Damn, man, my tires blew out. So now they on the side calling. Now they trying to get a Jonathan Hankins. Now they're trying to, go get a T.Y. Hilton. Now they're trying to, take OBJ to Mavericks games because your tire didn't blew out in week 7 when we've been telling you, bro, your tires is bald. So that's all we're trying to do right now is saying some of these things right now can impact us in the season. Let's fix it now. You know what I'm saying? Let's fix it now. And if you go back to the history of our channels, right? James Washington year, we was all saying wide receiver. We need another wide receiver. Need another wide receiver. Need another wide receiver. James Washington goes down. We were saying, all right, so we had to go scramble and get a wide receiver. And that ended up impacting us, right?
Yep.
Then last year, what was y'all saying? Linebacker. We need some linebackers, y'all. Even a draft. Linebackers, y'all. We need some more linebackers. Overshawn went down. Okay, we need to go get some linebackers. This is all preseason. In the season, what we're saying? Damn, man, if we'd had a linebacker, thing would have been a little bit different. So right now, what we are saying is, hey, bro, we got to go defensive tackle. I'm saying, no, we got Molly. We need to go get some defensive tackle. You know what I'm saying? Your tires low. Defensive tackle, let's go get some. You know what I'm saying? There was Calais Campbell. Might want to go get him. All right. I don't want it to be a situation where it's week 7. Now we trade a 6th-round pick for defensive tackle. Well, we've already lost to Baltimore. We already sacrificed some games. Like, why not go ahead and get a jump on it and fix it early? And that's what we're talking about. Proactive mindset, y'all.
That's it.
This
is proactive content.
Yeah.
And some people are not used to that. See, because you're a problem solver, I'm a problem solver. You're not a panderer, I'm not a panderer. And so what'll happen is you got to be able to recognize when you have solution-oriented content creators.
Right.
But you can't fold up into a fanboy fan to where you can't handle somebody telling you your tires are bothering. You got to be able to man up on that and say, yeah, they right. And then even not just that, you got to be willing to do something. So like, I'm looking at my likes. I'm only at 125 and I got close to 240 people watching on just YouTube, right? So it's like just the little things. It's hitting that like button, it's sharing this content. Right. It's doing things to grow the awareness of what's really going on. Because it's very few places that's gonna really break down all the reasons why Mike McCarthy would have grown tired. Like me and Tuck can literally sit down and break down hiring Kellen, option routes. What does Mike McCarthy often Dan Quinn job, slow to cross train? Can you pull up that list one more time?
Yeah, all his things. Yeah.
Yeah, because you got more on your list than me. Trey Lance, the videos, the Jerry audio, players not paid and absent from the team. Like, there's nobody that's going to bring you this much comprehensive understanding of the bullet by bullet. Right. Like, me and Tuck can even talk about this.
I just made this on my own before the show.
You made that, and I made my own list. Yeah. Like, I just said, hey, I'm going to make a list. I'm going to send it to you. I ran out of time. He said, no, I got it, boss. I'm going to make it. And I ain't even worried about it because I knew he was going to bang it. Like, where are you going to get this much comprehensive breakdowns of what Mike McCarthy been going through?
Right.
So that we can really rally our voices, let them know we see it. Because if you fanboy or fangirl and put your head in the sand, why would they change? So,
yeah. And if you want real change, Cowboys Nation, you got to have uncomfortable conversations. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't, and everything's going to be comfortable, right? So go back, right, to what happened to me in Boston in January. It wasn't that we was scared. It wasn't that we was being negative. We was watching the film saying, hey, bro, Green Bay do a lot of motion. They kind of remind me of San Fran. We're going to have to communicate and stop that. Hey, bro, Green Bay got a good quarterback. He get the ball. Like, we were saying, being proactive with our, and I think this because of content we do, that we're always thinking ahead, right? Yeah. And so if we were fanboy, I could have just been like, oh, we good. We you know what I'm saying? We don't lose at home.
If you're scared, go to church.
Yeah, if you're scared, go to church. You know what I'm saying? Scary content.
That home field advantage. Yeah. You done won 17 games. You just scared.
You just scared. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just scared. I was so scared. I took my ass to that game and sat there and got mollywopped and had to be trolled by people with blocks of cheese on their head. I was so damn scared. You know what I'm saying? It was when I turned on that Green Bay film, I said, oh, damn, bro. Okay.
Me too.
I said, okay. All right.
And people literally was calling you scared. They was calling me scared. But you know the saddest part? That's why the letdown was so big.
Right.
The letdown was so big because of the overwhelming wee woo.
That was so. It was so
confidence. It was to the. And see, I'm gonna tell you, when I started having a horrible feeling, bro, I was just looking at the pattern of how our team plays when the fans are real loud and overconfident. So like when we went into Arizona, oh man, we getting ready to whoop them. And it's like I start seeing that pattern. I'm like, bro, this is the wrong message for a young team.
It's the wrong
message.
This
is the wrong message. If anything, it should be Green Bay has been having our number for a long time, and we've been favored every time they beat us. And that's true.
And we've been we've been losing to them, even the Mike McCarthy era. You know what I'm saying?
All the way back to Romo. Remember he was going against Flynn?
Right. Yeah.
Like every time. Like, what we should get nervous every time we favored on Green Bay.
And that's what people and not to cut you off, but that's what people forget. Mike McCarthy was the coach that we played and tensed up and got nervous against.
Man.
Jason Garrett would see Mike McCarthy and he would cave up. You know what I'm saying?
Man. So, but is your overall point on that is see, and I'm gonna say this too. And me and Starr had a great conversation this weekend. I said some people you got to really look at them based on their track record. Mm-hmm. So Tuck disagrees with me on things. I disagree with him on things, but because of his track record, when he speaks, I slow down. Mm-hmm. I at least do that.
Right.
Like I'd never say, "Oh no, oh no, oh no." If Tuck is adamant, just being adamant, and I'm adamant, I'm gonna say, "Hold on, bro." I'm gonna pause on my tight end thoughts. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna look at it again because I know your track record. You know, if you telling me we tripping on Michael Parsons, right? Let me pause real quick because I know his track record. Like I know if he's speaking against the crowd, he doing it because he's seeing something. You know, so we gotta learn the content creators. To be honest, you gotta learn. Okay, what was Tuck's track record on Michael Parsons when we drafted him? Mm-hmm. What was his track record?
That wasn't popular because I got dogged for that video that I made.
And I'm not saying was he right. I'm saying what's his track record. This is what I mean by that. Mm-hmm. What was his track record on Kyrie Irving? Not was he right. What was his track record? Mm-hmm. Well, what I saw was integrity. Mm-hmm. I saw a guy that said, "I got bit by a zombie, y'all." Mm-hmm. And said it, right? Mm-hmm. And said it. Like what was my track record on Sauce Gardner and the Boss Cowboy guy? Mm-hmm. I bummed that. Mm-hmm. I trashed that. I totally messed that up, right? Mm-hmm. I missed on Sauce. I just totally missed. So what's my track record? What you can see with Tuck and I is not perfection. What you see is integrity. You see people that's gonna say, you know what? I got that wrong. Let me go back. Mm-hmm. Let me go back and take a look and see why. Not making excuses or you know or just trying to put undercover all these bricks, you know what I mean, that you've been throwing. You know, you've been hitting straight bricks, but you still the expert. Okay, that's not integrity. So it's one of those things to where if Tuck is warning, it's some people that I can point at and say, if they warning, I'm gonna slow down. Okoye, the OC, Tuck, for sure. Like and Starr. Those guys for sure. If they say something that I totally disagree with, I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna say, oh, let me just go take another look. Now, if I go research and I still see it different, I'm gonna stand on my 20 toes. But some people deserve a second look just based on their track record. And you for sure won, big dog.
Right. Yeah, and likewise, right? Because I remember the whole Terrence Steele. First, I was anti-Terrence Steele over Lyle. You know what I'm saying? But Boss was preaching, and I said, you know what? All right. Let me go back and just sit there and watch. And I watch, and you know what I'm saying? And me personally, y'all know me, I really don't like offensive line film. You know what I'm saying? Because it's kind of boring. And I was like, well, let me sit back and watch. And I sat back and watched a game, 2 games. Now I see what Boss is saying. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that there's certain people that actually do the work. You know what I'm saying? They don't take this for granted, right? So it's like, y'all know that I do a weekly scouting report before every game. And like Boss was saying, when people get comfortable and the fan base gets comfortable, that's when my antennas goes up. Because the thing that happened to me, Boss, I got bit once, and I remember that game. It was versus the Denver Broncos. Denver was losing. We was flying high. I said, listen, y'all, we going to 40 ball these team. We going to blow them out the building. We ain't doing no videos. We was sitting around laughing and chat, you know what I'm saying, giving out gift cards for guessing how many points we going to score. And we got punched in the mouth. And I'm going to get damn fool walking out that building. And I said, nah, I didn't do my job. I did not have at least my community ready, you know what I'm saying, for all things that can happen. I was sitting there, you know what I'm saying? So that's what people don't understand. It's just about having proactive mindset and trying to find solutions before it happened. And when you're wrong, you're wrong. Like I said, I was a Kyrie Irving, you know what I'm saying? Don't want him, hate him. He a horrible leader. Now I can easily come back and say, well, let's see what he does again next year. You know what I'm saying? I can sit.
Right.
Let's
get quiet.
Let's see what he does next year. Let's see how it works out. I mean, at the end of the day, they didn't win a chance. Like I could sit there and play that game. You know what I'm saying? But nah, bro, it's like I got bit because all these media sources, because I don't follow the Mavs in depth as I do the Cowboys in every article. When I was in the radio and I don't want him. He's a nuisance and all this. Like, well, I don't want that around Luka. So I was banging with Big Game James. I don't want him. I don't like him. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those things where you got to learn to kind of think for yourself. Now, boss, I want to pivot to something because I got asked this question, man. I'm kind of asking you this as well. And I kind of got my list and your list up as well. But, people are asking me, like, who do you think are like 4 players that's under the most pressure going into the season? And I kind of heard, a variety of different people. Some says Dak, some says Micah Parsons, CeeDee Lamb. I kind of hear some of those people. But I think it's a little bit deeper for me personally. So from my list that I have, the number one person I think that's under the most pressure this season, unfortunately, is Tyler Guyton.
Yeah.
And it might sound crazy. It's like, why are you putting all this pressure on the rookie? Well, once again, your front office didn't give you no insurance policy at left tackle. So we are in a situation, Cowboys Nation, where it has to work. It has to work when it comes to Tyler Guyton. And unfortunately, he's going to be tossed to the fire. You know what I'm saying? And the thing that I'm concerned about is I know how Cowboys fans can be, because I was playing Madden 25, like I said, and I was playing against the Cleveland Browns, bro. He was getting wrecked versus Myles Gage. he was getting wrecked so bad to sub him out, bro. I was like, you guys come sit by me. You know what I'm saying? So if that's the case, I don't want the fan base and the radio and the media start getting on him and trying to ruin this kid's confidence.
That's fair.
Because we got nobody else. It's Tyler Guyton or Matt Waletzko or Chima Udoga or Austin. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like Tyler Guyton's under a lot of pressure, switching from the right side to the left side, but I think it's going to work out. Number 2, I have Sam Williams. Now you got Marshawn Nealon. And the thing that we're going to figure out with Sam is I know 1,000%, and that's how I kind of predicted that the Cowboys, once again, track record, was going to draft him. He was what Dan Quinn liked. You know what I'm saying? When Dan Quinn was training him at Ole Miss for Pro Day, he looked like a kid in a candy store. I was like, okay, I'm circling him because that's pretty much a lock, right? Is he a Zim guy? You know what I'm saying? Is he going to be a Zim guy? We see that we got Marshawn Nealon. You know what I'm saying? So how is that going to transpire? So I feel like Sam Williams is going to have to take a leap, actually, from the mental aspect and from the performance aspect as well. So I put Sam Williams as 2. Number 3, I have Donovan Wilson, right? I have Donovan Wilson, and the reason why, we know what our safety room is, but when you look at a scheme, and we'll talk about it on my channel as well, but when you look at scheme, Zim likes to play a lot of 2-high coverage when it comes to his safeties, right? So he likes rangy guys. He doesn't like guys that's kind of stiff in the box, which is Donovan. So if we're being honest, Malik and Wanye kind of fit that mold a little bit more than Donovan, right? So, Donovan kind of had a little shaky season last year, but it's going to be interesting to see how does he fit as far as Zim's scheme. So Donovan Wilson's 3. And then number 4, I got your guy Terrence Steele, right? Because last year we kind of gave him a mulligan because of the injury. But if things kind of still to transpire, was kind of lingering a little bit, and he still doesn't look like himself prior to injury, I think it's going to kind of change things, because not only you have a void at right tackle, you could possibly have a void at left tackle as well. So those are my 4. So what do you think about that list just off the top of your head, boss?
Man, it's impossible to be wrong on this, on an opinion like this. All right, I will say I definitely agree with you on Tyler Guyton. Okay. But more so because of the matchups. When you go look at the guys that he gonna have to play against, he going against the best in the league literally out the gate. Right.
Out the gate.
I feel good about him because I've seen so many times miracles performed with our offensive line. So the fact that me and you was rightfully so very nervous about Tyler Smith when he was going to be thrown out there at left tackle.
Right.
It was very logical to say he's going to bum it. Right. Especially when you got nothing but training rep snaps at guard. Right. So, anybody with a good mind would have forecasted just doom. But what did he do? He ended up swimming pretty well. It wasn't like amazing, but it was a really good rookie year.
Right.
I think he has the work ethic to be that seed that goes into the ground and come up as a miracle guy. Now, Sam Williams, I would say that's probably the one that I agree with you on the most, because Zim usually run a 4-3.
Right.
And 4-3 defensive ends usually are bigger, right? So I researched this a long time ago when we was getting Dan Quinn, and I was thinking he was going to come in and run a 4-3. A real 4-3 is really built on the edge as the people that you want to feature in your defense. So, and the average of real true quality 4-3 defensive ends are usually around 6'4", 6'5", 260. So he is an undersized edge player for Zimmer. So fit might be the problem, where kneeling is a more natural for 3 defensive ends.
Right.
No.
I got a video dropping tomorrow, all possibly Chauncey Golston.
I agree with that. I agree with that. Like in terms of body type to the defense, right? So what we really betting on with Sam Williams is, are you such a natural football player that can you make the adjustment? That's to be seen, and that's why I will give you a very, very big stamp on that. Now, on the Donovan Wilson, I believe Donovan Wilson, especially when he finally took over as the starter, even before Dan Quinn, he was actually very rangy to me. Very rangy to me. And if you look at his early parts of his career, especially in PFF, he was actually getting more single high snaps than in box snaps. He became more of a box guy under Dan Quinn. I saw a lot of range under Donovan Wilson. And I remember the days of Donovan Wilson being a ball guy, you know, and when they put him in a box, to me, that took away from that, you know. So he is competing against another freak with Wanye, right? So I think both of those guys are killers, and that's going to end up being very interesting. I was listening to Brian Broaddus the other day. Somebody, thank God, finally spoke about safety. God.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Finally.
In the middle of June. Thank God.
In the middle of June, somebody finally gave us a safety report. And he gave a report that, you know, that he see Wanye also trying to make some noise in the safety room to kind of aid to your point of kind of bubble concerns on Donovan Wilson. I do believe Donovan Wilson also is a gamer. And I think his mentality is perfect for Zimmer. I think they're going to end up being a marriage made in heaven. I actually predict a major resurgence of Donovan Wilson under Zimmer, because their mentalities are the same. Like if you Zimmer, how do you not love a Donovan Wilson type? Like that's the guy that you try to put in front of everybody and say, be like him, be a dog like him. But the Wanye is coming, and you can't deny what Wanye is.
And also, I feel like with Donovan Wilson now, with the absence of J-Ron Kersey, you know what I'm saying, he's gonna have to be one of your vocal veteran leaders, you know what I'm saying, because you don't have Gill anymore, you know, you don't have Kersey anymore, so he's probably gonna have to be one of those guys too.
So you know, it's I'm gonna be watching safety at camp. If any one of you media people watching, I'm gonna just say this: I was very disappointed at the coverage of safety. It's like safety is like, I gotta ask Brian Broaddus this tomorrow, because nobody ever talked about this. Who's out there? What's going on with Bill? See, that's a shame that, like, if you talk to us, everybody want to know what's going on with Bill. Somebody that literally played 17 games, ain't nobody gave no reports on.
You're right.
Are you serious? Like, what's going on with Izzy?
Right.
Like, come on now. Like, now y'all out there now, and we got it. Like, I was listening to Brian Broaddus. He was on Love of the Star. And he had to go back to safety. He was like, hold on, let me tell y'all about safety. It's like everybody is ignoring the epic competition at safety. And it's like, wow. So now I'm glad you brought that up. And so then, you know, I'm going to try to do a good job of pulling that out of all the people that's going to be visiting us on the Final Word. Is I'm going to get y'all that report on safety. I promise you that.
Because that's important, right? And like I said, I voiced it on Twitter. It's like, bro, there's a lot of more interesting stories, and get it, right? I understand the novice Cowboys fan don't care about that, right? But us that actually wants to know about results, it's a very important story. You know what I'm saying? Because there was also, I saw a lot of clips where I saw Awesome Richards at left tackle with the starters. So where was he in that rotation? You know what I'm saying? Like where was the Matt Waletzko? Where was the Josh Balls? Where was Izzy playing? Was he playing corner? Was he playing inside? Like who was taking on the J-Ron Curse role? Like I mean, but maybe that's too footballish, you know what I'm saying? But it's like those are the important things that I think Cowboys Nation really wants to know. So, boss, I'm going to go ahead and get over to your list. So we got one that we shared. We have Tyler Guyton, so we definitely agree there. But you also have Luke Schoonmaker. Talk a little bit about Luke Schoon.
Like Luke Schoonmaker is, to me, top of the bubble guy. You know, that if I rank my list, number one bubble guy right now is Luke Schoonmaker. You know, politics is why they go try to force him out there, but he's trending right where he was at Michigan, being an injured guy coming out of Michigan. But then because I've done so much research, I also understand that Mike McCarthy don't like his types. He don't like them stiff hip guys. He like the athletic, stretch the field type of tight ends. If you go look at the history of the type of guys that he really featured at Green Bay, they didn't resemble Luke. And I'm not saying skin color. I'm talking about athleticism. Like, so I need to be clear on that, you know?
Right.
It's the athleticism. So he is not as much of a fit as some may seem. And I would even say the guys that they praising right now, John Stevens Jr. and obviously Span, are actually better fits for Mike McCarthy. So when Span is the highest paid undrafted free agent, when Stephen Jones and them hinted that Mike McCarthy was on the phone with one of our best ones, you can put two and two together. When you see Span basically being interviewed as if he was drafted, right? When they showing the mini camps and they showing the rookie camps and they featuring all the draft guys, it was only one undrafted free agent that kept being featured and interviewed. That means he don't just have a sponsor, he has a super sponsor. And then when you look at the fact that his tight end coach, Linda Wells, when asked about him, lit up like a tree and was basically saying that the whole time he was sitting there, he was begging for him to be the pick all the way from the 4th round to the 7th round. So if that don't show you that it's massive pressure on Luke, I don't know what does it. And then Luke, I'm not giving up on Luke, because if we look at our history, most of our tight ends take about 2 or 3 years to develop, right? Like I didn't like Schultz at all, but year 3, he made me look dumb. He really did. He came out.
I was pro Jarwin at first. You know what I'm saying? Jarwin is my flavor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I hated Jarwin. I hated Jarwin to death. And he turned around and shut me up too. It's like, after you 0-2, now you got to learn your lesson that some tight ends take a while to develop. And Schoon is a freak. Like his RAS score was on the level of Pitts. So he freaky athletically in terms of running and speed. He's not freaky in his hips and having loose hips. Yeah, he kind of
wiggle. There's no wiggle. Yeah,
he don't have a wiggle. So, but I'm still not giving up on him. But I will say this: he won't have the time that Schultz had. He won't have the time that Jarwin had. You got to do it at year 2 or you out of here, buddy. So Bell is under pressure, more so because now he basically having to reset. And that's just unfortunate. I'm going to just move on that. That's just pretty obvious that you started 17 games and people like not even talking about you. And it's sad because Malik Hooker himself named him specifically as one of the top dogs to watch last year. And people acting like he's totally forgotten about when he showed the most courage out on the entire defense. I'm going to say that again. Nobody had more courage and more heart than Bill.
Facts.
Nobody. Like, they put that man at middle linebacker. They told that man to be the green dot guy. As an undersized linebacker.
Because honestly, people don't understand. Wanye's bigger than Bell. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And Wanye said, I ain't want that job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Wanye for being smart. You know, for real. Because I said that they ruined Kirk's career. I mean that. I say, man, you can't be putting them little safeties in the box like that for long periods. Somebody go separate their shoulders. And that's exactly what happened. So Jalen Tolbert, he got a lot of pressure, in my opinion, because you have been out there with Dak, with the ones, and I'm not hearing your name enough. Just being honest. I'm hearing Brooks' names. I'm hearing Turpin name. Where is your name? And then another thing too about Jalen Tolbert, which makes me say is pressure. I keep hearing him having pressure on himself. I keep hearing him talk about fighting demons. Right? I'm seeing Turpin with a different swag. Turpin, his swag is almost like I belong. I am a superstar. It's like it's mind over matter. And Turpin has embraced that I'm going to be that guy. Tolbert mentally hasn't, to me, turned the corner. I think he got the best upside to be the number 3. But is he ready mentally? I got to see. And I think Mike McCarthy and them have to help him. I think they got to help him with play calling. I think the most important thing they should do is, as soon as them preseason lights come on, give him the easiest confidence building, bootlegs, have him streaking across the field, just have him stuff to just get him knowing I can make plays. Because once I think he snapped mentally, I think that's when we go see Tolbert.
And I agree. When it comes to Tolbert, because y'all know I scouted him heavily coming out of college, is that the ability is there, but what people got to understand, he is very raw. Like, he didn't start playing football till what he said his junior year. You know what I'm saying? So he just doesn't have that wide receiver walk. You know what I'm saying? And now you got, Jalen Brooks, who you already mentioned, but you also got Ryan Flutter. Like, you have people coming in that just has that wide receiver walk. Now, he played much improved last year, and also he had a much better camp last year, but it's just, can you continue to stack on top of that? Because like I said, when it comes to that Michael Gallup position, I think he's going to get the first crack at it, but I don't think it's a lock. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, granted, Turpin's not going to be your outside guy. But, you know what I'm saying, Turpin just has, like, he belongs. You know what I'm saying? And I think because of his speed and his ability, he just kind of relies on that. You know what I'm saying? So for Tolbert, it's just those confidence boosts, man. I think, it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. And also with the tight end position, I'm a fan of him, but I don't know how he fits. That's Peyton Hendershot. I think Peyton Hendershot he's out of there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't think he makes it, because it's like they're probably going to keep Hunter Lukey, of course, right? So that's going to be a spot. Probably keep 3 tight ends, maybe 4, and I just don't see Hendershot beating out. It would have to be Stevens, and the way that Stevens played last year, hell, Stevens looked better in camp than Schoonmaker did by far.
And he looked better in the games. I'm gonna say this about Stevens. I see gamer.
Yeah, if
I see pure gamer.
If he recovers, bro, he is special. You know what I'm saying? He is special.
I was seeing a Bland track. Right? You remember how Bland kept just stacking good days, and then went into the preseason games, and he just looked like he was made for the moment.
Right.
That's John Stevens. Like, his name kept being called so much. I was like, who? Right? When I heard it wasn't, what's his name? Man, I can't remember his name. He does all the videos at camp, man. He does the best videos. Machota. John Machota said if Schoonmaker would have been making the plays that John Stevens have been making out here, he said, man, it would be going crazy. Remember he said that last year?
Yeah.
So, and then Brian Broaddus was talking about things that he was seeing on the political side. That's a good sign. Like I keep hearing Stephen Jones talk about him. And Brian Broaddus talked about when he was on the show with Vach, he was saying how Stephen Jones is gonna make him way through the crowd and greet him directly. So when you seeing the sponsors, the coaches, and everybody lining up to your potential, it's pretty much and because he was injured early, I think he gonna be ready. I think he'll be ready to go. I think that training staff is go get to him, and he go come in, and I think I'm not gonna count Hendershot out yet, because I still want to wait till I see it under the lights.
I just don't see the sponsor for Hendershot. You know what I'm saying?
He got to make play. He got to win the crowd, and I'm not sure if he gonna do it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because what I saw with him is I loved his heart. I love how he was thrown out there and made some plays. But what I didn't like about him was the penalties. Like his discipline was bad. A lot of people didn't talk about that, but he did have some discipline issues
and some drops too.
So it's one of those things to where I'm honestly more excited about Span John Stevens. I give Schoon one more year and really 3 preseason games. After these 3 preseason games, I'm gonna have my mind made up.
Right.
And I'm more so already leaning to go with these young guys and move on. For real. Like, go ahead and, we gonna let you guys compete, but you got to stack these days, Schoon. If you don't stack these games, go with who Mike McCarthy already like. He got a type. He got a type. Go with it.
Right. Because pretty much you're going to be his 1B to Jake Ferguson. And from what I've heard about Hendershot, it was that he kind of just got in his feelings about the Schoon draft pick, you know what I'm saying? Because, him and Ferg was the tandem, you know what I'm saying? Then he going and caught him off guard and kind of drafted a tight end, but you still got to go out there and compete. But I'll tell y'all this, man, and people kind of
got in his feelings?
Yeah, that's what I was hearing. He kind of got in his feelings, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, damn, y'all went and drafted, you know what I'm saying? Because once they drafted a tight end at 2, your spot was gone, you know what I'm saying? Like, and coming off versus Tampa and also versus, San Fran, we thought Henny and Ferg was, the next duo in Dallas. And they said, nah, bro, I'm going. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'll tell y'all this, man. Stevens, when I was out in camp, I'm not calling him that, but he felt like
Pitts.
he felt
I know where you going. Say it. Go ahead and say it now. So you can be first. Say it now. And I'm gonna say you said it. Say it first.
I mean, he felt very Pitts-ish, man. Like I said, man. Yeah,
I love it, Chuck.
You know what I'm saying?
I love it.
Yeah, he felt like it, man. But my dog, man, Boss Cowboy.
He fit. I just want to stay with that one just for 1 second before we get out of here.
He fitted, bro.
He fit.
Man,
like
Jay Tuck didn't call John Stevens in. It felt that way. It felt that way.
I see Pitts, bro. Like I see Pitts all day.
Mm-hmm.
Like for real, like it's and to get Pitts as an undrafted free agent, who ain't gonna be happy with that?
Yeah, bro. He felt like it, bro. I was hurt when he went down, bro. I was like, oh man, because
hey, the main thing that I love that I was seeing, and some of the things that I heard, Mike McCarthy then was saying that basically that they had to take some plays out the playbook because he got injured.
Right.
Which is really saying it's things Ferg can't do that he can do.
They got a plan for him. You know what I'm saying? They got a plan. And you
gotta look at that.
And you add him and Ferg, that gets nasty.
Bro, I've been listening. Let's go ahead and start saying it now so we can go ahead and say we was first on this. Especially because Jermichael Finley came on 2 weeks ago and he was talking about what I see with them boys is Gronk and Hernandez, bro. I see that too. And that's not me being no drunk on Kool-Aid, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, you seeing these super chats?
Yeah, I'm not seeing. I think I saw one. Let me see here.
I saw like 4.
Okay, I'm not seeing them on my end.
Somebody said just real quick. He said, "What do y'all think is more important to focus on, offensive continuity or the defensive turnover?" Neither.
Yeah.
I think both of them is gonna be fine.
You mean getting turnovers or just the changes on the defense, like with the
he
personnel?
Said to focus on, important to focus on. Like, I think Zim is gonna be focusing on stops.
Right. Yeah.
I think he views certain times raking at the ball and doing different things.
Which I've been trying to prepare Cowboys fans for, because you might not see the godly numbers that we put up under Dan Quinn. You know what I'm saying? So, it's going to be a little bit different. But I think the focus is going to be stops, getting off the field. So we'll see how it transpires. I
got one more super chat.
Okay.
I see. He said Belichick ain't putting up with just $4 million per year. Yeah, Belichick ain't coming.
Hell no. Bro. He want full control, bro.
Yeah,
he want full control. Yeah,
and he wants to win too bad to deal with all the 360 that comes with being in Dallas. Like,
right.
He doesn't. He's truly football first.
Right.
So he's the type that'll bench a star. Right. And then Jerry go come out and be like, "Nah, we got too many jerseys to sell."
Right.
So, and they would have too many odds. So I think Jerry and they would never do it.
That's a bad relationship, bro. I mean, it would be nice just to watch for content because we would boom off of it, but that would be ugly, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that'd be ugly.
It wouldn't be Belichick's fault either. Right. It'd be their fault.
Right. It would be their fault, man. It'd be their fault, man. But yo, boss, man, appreciate you for pulling up, my guy. You know what I'm saying? Let me host over here, man. So for everybody seeing you for the first time, bro, let everybody know they can find you, dog.
Man, Boss Cowboy Sports, man. And I just want to kind of let everybody know, I ain't gonna be dropping no content for about a month. This is I might drop one video because now that I done did this work of pulling out these videos, I'm gonna probably do one more video on this Mike McCarthy. I'm gonna show you all the evidence. But then after that, I gotta recharge y'all because it's gonna be a long year. Y'all still gonna get all the final words. We got some final words coming. Let me just get my resume and the roster that's coming.
Okay.
We got Brian Brothers coming tomorrow. And then we have after that Clarence Hill. Then we have Michael Gelkin. And then we have Nick Harris. And we got even more that's potentially coming. But after that though, I'm gonna pull back just a little bit just to kind of take my breath and get ready for the long haul. Y'all know how I go, man, because once we start going, we don't stop until minicamp next year.
Right.
And see, I'm a vet now. So I've learned that you gotta stop around this time. If you don't stop around this time, you're gonna be super burnt out by the time training camp starts and people gonna need me and Tuck at our best.
Right.
They gonna need us at our best. They gonna need us fully focused, fully locked in, fully paying attention, because we gonna be giving y'all what a lot of people not gonna be giving y'all. So man, appreciate you driving the car, bro. And I want you to drive the car more, man.
Yeah,
I get sick of driving, bro. I'm dead serious, man. I get tired of producers. You know, you one of the best in the game too when it comes down to this fire type of production.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man, you can grab these keys whenever you want to throw me on a thumbnail, and we can rock. We can do this anytime.
Bet, bro. Appreciate you, man. I need to drive more often, man. Like I said, but I've been, like you said, we got to take breaks because, you know, we go hard in the draft season, so it's really been no off season for us. You know what I'm saying?
None.
So I'm about to go on vacation for real this Friday. But for the most part, man, it's just kind of coasting. You know what I'm saying? We'll talk about it if things come up, but you know, I think that's the thing about me, Boss, and some others. Like, we don't just manufacture content just for the sake of manufacturing content. Like, there's nothing to talk about. Hey, man, even y'all, man, go spend some time with your family. Go outside, get some sun. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy yourself. You know what I'm saying? Work on yourself. Like, it shouldn't only be about Cowboys all around the clock because they ain't focused on football right now. You know what I'm saying? They kicking, they chilling, man. They having birthday parties. They, you know what I'm saying, doing all sorts of stuff right now, man. So sometimes we need to take a break, and y'all know as soon as we get out there in Oxnard, it's, you know what I'm saying, all systems will go, and we're going to be out there banging hard, man. So I appreciate y'all for y'all seeing me for the first time. J Tuck. Follow me on all social media platforms at JTuck151, the YouTube channel CFO Sports. Give us a like, give us a subscribe. And we're doing a lot of different things. We have a lot of different guests coming on, doing some morning content, man, just some inspirational stuff that y'all been asking for. It's giving y'all more about, you know, J Tuck behind the scenes, you know what I'm saying, that goes into it. People don't understand that Boss is a father, you know what I'm saying? He's a hard worker. Like, there's more into it than just a Cowboys content creator. We do a whole lot more. We have a lot more stories to share, and hopefully someone can pull for our inspiration. So I've been doing that. And then, yeah, we're going to keep on rocking, y'all. Y'all going to see me on a lot of different shows.
Real quick, man. Y'all support Tuck on that, man.
Appreciate it.
And I'm going to support Tuck on that. I'm going to do better. I'm going to share that type of content.
Appreciate it.
I was telling Tuck behind the scenes, you know, because he real humble. Like, he don't really brag. But, like, Tuck done helped me behind the scenes on so many different things, on vacation, ways to really, you know, prepare for real dope vacations, right? Mm-hmm. How to really get your credit even better, and how to invest, and just different things about just being a better person, how to prepare to travel for the season, and how to get good deals on that. Like, Tuck is giving way more than just football content, like how to hit your goals. Like, so just opening up his life, that's just different, y'all. You know, that's just different. Like, and I'm just really proud to watch you do something intimate like this, just real intimate. Like, this is raw Tuck, but also the value that you've given us. It's like, so I know this is a new thing that Tuck is doing, but it's something that's valuable, like, to where it's like, all right, I'm not just getting in on just football. This man gonna tell me how to, you know, make sure that if I'm, you know, in the gambling, how to do it smart, how to do it in a way that you're going to win. Like, because we already talked behind the scenes, the stuff that he's already preparing and passionate about. Like, he sent me a text today. He like, boss, I love doing this. See, like, when my boy say he love doing something, man, y'all better look out. That's all I'm gonna say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, man, when my boy say, man, I love this, I was like, woo.
Yeah, man, it's just a pat. I mean, because those are the conversations I have every day. You know what I'm saying? When I'm talking to my brothers and sisters on the phone, you know what I'm saying? Just sharing life advice, because I tell people all the time, right? It's like, if you don't handle your mental, your money, and different things, none of this matters. You know what I'm saying? If you're in a bad spot mentally, it don't matter what's going on with the Cowboys, because you can't focus. If you don't have your financials straight or your family straight, like, I don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to give, like I said, I'm not no guru. I don't know everything. Salute to my bro, Tony the Closer in the building, man. If y'all want to get y'all real estate game up and really start making some money, definitely give my dude a follow, because he really has the keys on that. But it's like, yeah, it's just extending that olive branch. He's a Commanders fan, those who don't pay attention, right? But
yeah,
it's
I
like,
see that.
You know what I'm saying? But there's people out there that I've been able to network with, and I learn them. Like, I be talking to Tony all the time, learning. And so when I get those nuggets or I get those jewels, I feel like it'll be selfish of me not to share. You know what I'm saying? Right now, y'all, I'll show you right here. Got a 9-team parlay, sports betting, and I'm cooking all of them. Baseball. Now, y'all know I don't even watch baseball, but I told Boss, how am I betting on baseball? He's like, bro, what the hell have you learned? And it's just because I get locked in. I read, I study. I get mentorships. I get all sorts of stuff kind of going on where I'm asking questions. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I learn by being a sponge, man. And then when I get that information, it's nothing to share with my brothers and sisters. So hopefully y'all can just take one thing. Even though my video might do 200 views or 100 views, man, it's like if someone watching my video and changes their life for the better, then I succeeded, man. I shared a video today about the change that I went on my life. And a lot of people's like, bro, I didn't know Tuck was really out there like that. I'm like, yeah, I was out there like that. You know what I'm saying? But I had to make the conscious decision that I wanted more for my life, and God gave me a new opportunity, and here I am, you know what I'm saying, doing all these different things. Like you said, Rico, each one teach one. So appreciate y'all, man, support, but we're going to continue to rock. We'll continue to do things. Got different guests coming on, and we're going to keep climbing, y'all. We're going to keep climbing. To be honest with y'all, fully transparent, there's a lot of hate coming on against us content creators, man. So we're going to need y'all to fight these battles, man. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of shady stuff going on behind the scenes that I'm sure some people will talk about, but they trying to shift the game in their favor. But we're not going to let it happen, man. We're going to continue to be out here front and center, like Boss said, 20 toes down, you know what I'm saying, and riding for our team, because at the end of the day, y'all know, we want to win. We want to win. We want to win a championship, and that's what we all here for. Whether they do it the Boss way, Tuck way, Law way, big game, we don't care. You know what I'm saying? We're going to put all of our ideas together and try to make it happen, man. So we appreciate y'all's support. Share the content, y'all. Like the content. Hype it up. You know what I'm saying? When there's bad stuff, when there's negative stuff going on, got the money, you know what I'm saying? Got the money, hype it up. You know what I'm saying? Y'all,
hype it
you know
up,
what I'm saying? Y'all be hyping up other stuff, you know what I'm saying? Talk about Boston Tuck like y'all talk about Kendrick and Drake. Man, I see somebody in the comments saying,
Brian Brothers coming tomorrow. Y'all better
you know what I'm saying? Hype that up like Kendrick and Drake. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think that's the way that we're gonna get the word out there. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna get the word out there, and we're gonna prevent y'all from becoming we're gonna prevent y'all from getting bit, man. So I appreciate the support, man. I want everyone to stay safe, stay blessed, stay encouraged. Go Cowboys. Peace.
Cowboys.